On the 29th and 30th of November 2025, Stu, Peter, Stanley and I headed down to Manchester Snow Centre to get a little bit of boarding practice in. Lucy also came down with us, but she didn't head out onto the slope, preferring to spectate, although I'm not really sure how enjoyable watching us sliding down an indoor slope is. There was a wee jump towards the top of the slope on the Saturday, and after a couple of runs we started hitting it. I got myself a new board for my big birthday, a Otto, with some Jones Mercury phase bindings. On last year's boarding holiday I got pretty pissed off clipping in and out of my binding. I quite fancied a certain iDecker Supermatics, but when the phase bindings started to be advertised, I decided to go for them. This is the first time that I've used them and I'm really pleased with them. They're really easy to get in and out of, and there's no need to sit down to clip in. You can easily do it standing up, and standing in one of the binding ladders is also thankfully a thing of the past. With the right dismount conditions, I reckon I'll be able to clip in coming off a chair and just roll out. A few of our fellow sliders were also hitting the jump with varying degrees of success. The snow on the Saturday was quite bumped up and moggled. Our session was from 4:30 to 6:30 PM and the snow was a little challenging in places. Peter had just got a new pair of Vans double boa snowboard boots and was a wee bit concerned over the sizing. He was happy with them after the weekend though, so that ticked another box.
Go Stanley! No crashing! Well done!
We paid £49.50 for our 2 hour passes and I think that was pretty good value for money.
Nice Stanley!
This is Peter trying my board for a couple of runs. Stu's got a new board as well, a LibTech Terrain Wrecker. Luckily we all have 154 boards and roughly the same size feet, so we were able to try out each other's boards for a few runs. It was a really interesting exercise and the boards all seemed very different. Our mate Bill came over to join us on the Saturday. Bill normally skis but has boarded a couple of times in the past and had decided to get back on a board again. He made great progress over the session and said he's probably going to try another couple of times. Will I come over from the dark side and board when we head over to La Plana in March? We'll see. The Snow Centre is a great facility. Its main slope is around 180 metres long and the centre has been open for about 18 years. We used to go to Escape, which was the centre in Glasgow, and we were really disappointed when it closed. I don't think it recovered from the COVID period and it's now been turned into a go-kart track.
Is that the 360 King of Manchester? Aye, he's done well there. No, he's right for the ball. Well done, son. You fell over. You got another hand back. Well done.
We enjoyed a Wagamama meal in the Trafford Centre on the Saturday night and undoubtedly overindulged on the après-ski festivities after it. I've always found the combination of very persuasive company and easily led individuals to be a bad combination. On that note, Stu and Peter, could you please have a very stern word with yourselves? Thanks.
Day 2 in the Snow Centre in Manchester. So, quite a late one last night, but what better way to blow off some cobwebs? Looking a lot flatter, still a little bit bumped up, but a lot flatter than yesterday.
After only a couple of hours sleep and a breakfast in Wetherspoons, Stu and I met up with Peter, Stanley and Lucy back at the Snow Centre. I decided to try a full run ride and switch here. I ended up getting a bit close to a skier who was above me. My toe edge dug in and I had no speed to help me get out of the way. The only thing I could do at that point was to hit the deck.
I have no room to escape from you. How you doing? It's my fault, my fault. Yeah. Nice to come. You okay? I'm good. Good.
The guy did really well to avoid hitting me hard. Thankfully neither of us were hurt, and that should be my boarding helmet christened.
I was filming, I should make some good footage.
I had worse experiences.
Yeah, as long as you're not hurt.
This is the crash slowed down. I actually blamed myself for the crash at the time, but technically he was above me on the slope. Just saying. The conditions were a bit better on the Sunday, when our session ran from 11 AM until 1 PM, although the centre had been open for 3 hours at that point. It would be interesting to see just how flat the slope is when they open up at 8 AM. Stanley has only recently learned to snowboard on dry ski slopes, which are quite challenging. This was his first time in artificial snow and he said that he much preferred it, finding it much easier. I'd like to give a shout out to the Snow Centre DJ. The tunes were very good overall, and at one point I honestly wondered if he or she had gotten hold of one of my playlists. I genuinely had a few concerns after buying the Crew Otto when I heard that it can dish out a few lumps. Thankfully it felt pretty good underfoot, and whilst I did have a few wipeouts over the 2 sessions, it didn't feel any more challenging than any other snowboard that I've ridden badly in the past. I'm really looking forward to getting onto some nicely groomed slopes and hopefully some powder in France next year, which I think are its preferred habitats.
I fancied a pair and I ended up going phase.
They're just heavy, that's the only thing, they're quite heavy binding.
Right.
In terms of speed and everything,
But you're in.
it's unbelievable.
Oh, no. Old school.
We met these 2 young guys and one of them had a set of Supermatic bindings. It was the first pair that I'd seen in the flesh and they did look pretty impressive. They were good boarders and I managed to get some decent clips of them. Right at the end of the session, one of them very generously offered to take my camera and follow me down. Thanks, dude. This guy then had a cracking wipeout, and Stanley, who had improved immeasurably, timed one of his own perfectly as I was passing in the Palmer. Well done, young man.
Oh, nice timing.
Stu got a nice ollie out of his board at the top, and not to be outdone, Peter gets some real height here off the small roller towards the bottom of the run, followed by losing his heel edge. In conclusion, was the 3-hour drive each way worth it? I think that it was. It helped dispel any concerns I had over whether I would get on with my board, and I absolutely love the phase bindings. They're a game changer. After an uncertain start with his board, Stu also made a connection with it, and he too is really happy with his battalion phase bindings. We all had our fair share of falls and overbalances, so we must have been trying hard enough. Towards the end of the second session, the board was starting to feel a little more familiar, but why is it that you mostly tend to fall over when you've got no speed to work with? As I was editing this video, Peter has made his final decision and bought himself a Battalion Evil Twin Plus board. He's paired this with Battalion phase bindings, which looks stealthy and wicked, and is planning on heading back down to Manchester again at the end of the month. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.